This is Chris Lee of Southeastern 14 here to talk about LSU's 2-0 win over Wake Forest in the College World Series on Thursday night. That win sends LSU onto the championship series where it will face the Florida Gators in a series that wasn't played this year. So it'll be fun to see how these teams really match up for the first time. That will start on Saturday. But first, let's talk about what LSU did. First of all, if you had LSU giving up 2 combined runs in 3 straight elimination games on your bingo card, then congratulations, because none of us had that. I think that LSU's pitching obviously had been an issue all year outside of Paul Skeens, and LSU fans might push back on that a little bit because LSU did have some other guys that pitched well at times, including Ty Floyd, who I would presume we will see in the opener against the Gators, against Brandon Sproat. But yeah, you get it. After Paul Skeens, it had been a little rocky at times, but my goodness, Jay Johnson pushed all the right buttons this week as LSU fought to stay alive and beat Tennessee once and Wake Forest twice. Of course, the guy you wanted to get the ball in this one, and we didn't know how long he would go, was Paul Skeens. Well, he went 120 pitches. He didn't give up any runs in 8 innings against one of the easily top 3 or 4 lineups in the country. Now, Wake didn't hit in Omaha like it hit during the season. Some of that might have been ballpark. I'm sure a lot of it was ballpark because Wake played in a bandbox to beat most bandboxes, whereas Omaha is completely different. So you had that coming in. And then you had on the other side, LSU wasn't exactly LSU's offense either. Rhett Lowder, who's a mid-first round candidate, maybe higher, really did a great job of shutting down LSU. He only threw 88 pitches in 7 innings. So we go to the late innings, and we get to the ninth, and I remember thinking, boy, LSU must be pressing, because I believe it was in the ninth when Dylan Cruz had an at-bat. And Cruz is a kid who walks more than he strikes out. It does not chase. And I think it was Michael Massey who was pitching at the time, threw him a couple out of the zone high that Cruz chased and struck out. And I was like, boy, you would hate to see that be Dylan Cruz's last at-bat of his career. Well, it wasn't, because the bullpen held. Thatcher Hurd came in and pitched like Thatcher Hurd did most often late in the season. He holds Wake to nothing, gives up a hit and a walk. It only struck out 1, but the defense played great. And speaking of the defense, I would be remiss if I did not mention that Trey Morgan play. I cannot remember which inning it happened now. I believe it was the middle innings. Wake's got guys first and third, I believe it was, and tried a safety squeeze down the first base line. Morgan is charging the whole way, makes a play, gets rid of the ball in no time, flips it to the catcher, and they get on out at home plate by about that much. Went to replay. The call on the field was out. I think that was the right call. That is what replay held up. So that game was so pitching oriented that you would see LSU and Wake both get guys on to lead off, and then they'd get a sacrifice to move a guy over, and you would see the stands in the dugout celebrate like they just hit a 3-run home run. That's how much at a premium base runners came in that game. But anyway, we go to, what was it, the 11th inning, and Cruz lines a single past third. Wake's playing, looks like no doubles defense. He hits one just to the left of the third baseman, a rocket into left. And then Wake by that point has Cameron Minacci on their ace closer, who was just lights out this year. And Tommy White at the plate. And I don't remember the count now, but White hits one about, I don't know, half dozen rows into the bleachers and left. Really one of the few hard hit balls all game. And LSU celebrates a 2-0 win. Nice act of sportsmanship on the field afterwards, too. You saw White mixing it up with some of the Wake players, and just a heartbreaking game if you're Wake Forest. I thought Wake Forest, had it gone on and won the whole thing, would have had an argument as one of the greatest college baseball teams of all time. And honestly, LSU or Florida, the winner here may have that too. LSU's pitching, again, through the course of the season was a little suspect at times, as LSU fans know. But, boy, that offense was one for the ages, as we have seen. And again, the ballpark has held down some of the scoring, as has the pitching. I mean, the quality of competition in this event has been about as good as I ever remember. And, again, that's got a lot to do with it. But congratulations to LSU for advancing to play Florida. I think this series is going to be tremendous. It'll be interesting to see how LSU plays it with the pitching. I'm guessing at some point maybe Skeens could perhaps come back and throw a few pitches in relief at some point. I think another 120 pitch outing is probably out of the question. And really, I think a little bit of a big deal was made about him coming back and throwing as much. But if you look at it from major league terms, it's like a 5-man rotation where he takes his turn. So in my mind, probably not that big of a deal how much he threw, because that's what he's going to be doing at the next level. And boy, I think Paul Skeens will be pitching at the next level very soon. Anyway, thanks for watching our video. We'll have more coverage of the College World Series as games conclude between Florida and LSU. It is going to be the best 2 or 3 series. You can see the game times on the ticker. We're also rolling out more football content. As we get close to the season, get close to media days, we will actually be in Nashville where we live for SEC Media Days, and looking forward to that. The best way to get all of our content is hit the subscribe button. And if you don't mind, hit the like button too. That helps our analytics. I'm Chris Lee of Southeastern 14. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon with more SEC content.